So you know in A Silent Voice when they had to go to the fireworks shit, right? And he was like, "Oh man, that's right. We get to go to see the fireworks." And so me watching it, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. They got to celebrate 4th of July." It took me it wasn't until like 3 minutes later that I actually was like, no, okay, never mind. I was like, wait, what are they going out for? Oh yeah, summer break, 4th of July.
They're celebrating their independence from China.
So that was there you go.
And then their massacre of Chinese people in World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what all fireworks are.
Yep. We went to China and took their fireworks, also their lives.
I'm curious, who's the Nan Queen?
Chisei, from Ancient Magus.
Oh my God, that joke. The people who are going to get that joke are either going to find it hilarious or be really offended.
They're going to find it hilarious because they're probably informed and smart people to know what that is.
Chisei, Ancient Magus Bride.
Yep, Ancient Magus Bride happened. I agree. The whole Elias just straight up possessing Chisei, that was the highlight of the episode.
Yeah.
It was also kind of like, I don't know, like it felt like about 3 steps in a direction from his character that I didn't expect. Like, okay, he's possessing her. Like, whoa, he does that now? What?
Yeah, that was so many questions when he does that.
But she also thanks him afterward.
Yeah, that was what confused me.
That's what I was like, wait a second. What? I couldn't tell because maybe that was part of the process for him to come out. Maybe they needed to make a deal. That's the one thing in this episode. I'm like, why did they make the agreement? What was that for? Because that felt like a pact. That felt like something that was necessary for...
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because he's like, what will you give us? Candy. That works. And then it comes out.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if this is like when you hire a lawyer and you hand him $1 and he says, now I'm on retainer. Mm-hmm. If it's like one of those, like he has to do this before he can act. Like, yeah, I didn't think about that either. But
yeah, that's why I was confused. I don't know why that happened. Mm-hmm. Also, him and children, he doesn't do kids. They see through him.
Yeah.
And I loved how they showed that actually happen to give us even more context for when for why he does this. So when he made that agreement, I feel like that had something to do with it. Because once that was done, he's like, okay, here I am. And I love the kids' responses to him. They're so they're at first they're freaked out, but then they calm down like way quicker than normal people would. Mm-hmm. And that's so neat.
Yeah, when he's in the pond with Ethan at the end, and first like, oh my God, what are you? And then like, no,
is that
what
your
are
real skull?
Yeah, is that a mask? Is that no? Okay,
because he's wicked. Look at him.
Yeah. It's kind of like the inner fanboy. Like, yeah, what the fuck? What's he made of? Like, we've just kind of been rolling with his design, not really knowing how he works.
Also, it was fascinating that he chose Chisei's face. Because he's like, I won't go with my normal male face. I'll go with one that kids seem to like. And Chisei. That was neat.
And that's what I wonder. That was kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is I feel like there's something more happening symbolically, leading to something cooler with him possessing her and now seeing her as the face to take to approach people and be like comforting. Like that's what you are to me, and so I assume that's what kids will like too. I don't know. That's where I can see that going, but maybe I'm giving that too much.
Yeah. We didn't mention it, we figured out what her teddy bear's special extra feature is, which is that it absorbs her excess magic and sprouts these little crystal flowers off the top of her head that turns out she can then break off, and the reason why spirits are attracted to her is because she's this like super powerful magic battery. She can use that for bargaining, like, hey, can you help me find this kid? Give you this crystal flower made of pure magic. Like, oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, you went that away, Doc.
Yeah, that's another part I really liked was her kind of bartering with the with all the different spirits of the forest. Because Elias tries to do like the little wayward with the pine needles and shit that we've seen before, but it doesn't work. So she has to go through and like bargain with everybody. And this really, I love the one monster that seemed to have like a whole like torso mouth was so fucking cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I like that thing a lot.
Creepy things going on here, and I like when she goes up to her, and it's interesting. This monster, this spirit that requires blood, makes a deal like, yeah, you can have a teacup, and it's like, cool, home.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. I see that, again, this is one of the things I love about the series, just introducing these concepts and not overloading you with information, but giving you enough to make you understand what that thing is and then interacting with it in a manner of that progresses the story. That's always so really interesting. And yeah.
Was it weird to anybody else that Chisei used that fox skin to turn into a bear?
No.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, I guess she can be a bear now. But I was like, but afterward, like, okay, fine.
I'm okay with the fact that it was a bear. Like, I wish it had been a little, like, when it happened, I was like, okay, cool, it can do other animals. And they didn't really tell you that, but if that's what it does, that's fine by me.
I don't know. Unless they're, like, setting that up for something different, like, why did it need to be a bear? Would have done the exact same effect if she'd been a fox again. I don't know.
I don't know if a bear's sense of smell is better than a fox's.
Yeah, but Ruth was the one doing the tracking. This was just so that she could keep up, it seemed like.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there was any deeper meaning to her being a bear other than it can do other forms, just letting you know that because this might be important later. That's what I see.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Ruth was having trouble. She wasn't. She seemed to be able to do a better job than he did, which is weird because he even says like, yeah, it's I'm being blocked here. Like I can barely smell anything. So that was really.
And she said, "Barely, you say."
You're better than this, Ben.
No, I'm
No,
not.
he's not. No, this is exactly what I need.
But yeah, no, I mean,
But yeah, I mean, the story itself was kind of like, I don't know, don't have fights with your little brother, or you might get kidnapped by this guy. I don't know.
No, it's not. The story was that your words have power.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And it was that the things that you say, do you really mean that? Think about what you say before you talk. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I appreciated the lengths it went to establish the like existential dread that she like just the music cues. Like the music was so on point this episode, by the way. Yeah. Amazing. I love Ash and I's theme, by the way. But when she's like something like mortified, like I can't remember his name, and when Chisei goes, it's don't you know? And she's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
That was cool.
Yeah, that did a lot for me, and I don't know. I really liked the whole premise of the episode was cool.
Yeah, something my girlfriend pointed out was, why did the parents just like instantly forget about the son, but it took the sister a little longer? And the only reason I could think of was, I don't know, I guess the sister was the one he was trying to teach a moral lesson to.
I think that was because they were more closely like connected at that point. When it happened, it took them both a while to forget. The parents, meanwhile, are like off in the house, not thinking about it. So like she had him on her mind actively. The parents were doing what the fuck ever. So that was just a quick.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I don't know. I'd just something that came up.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of interesting because you say words have power, and yeah, I guess that was the metaphor for me. And this is interesting because usually I need my magic to be metaphorical to something. Otherwise, it kind of just comes off as like, well, how am I supposed to relate necessarily? And maybe that's because I'm an adult who has no imagination left. God help me. But I really didn't need there to be a metaphor with this story. It was a scary story told very effectively. Like she's forgetting who he is, and it's all because of this guy. And like I don't know, I liked it. I thought it was effective personally as a singular story that also builds up Ash and I again to be a very scary force.
I like how they're portraying Ash and I. I think like Elias was just like, oh, you darn kooky old dudes, and that's really all I need. Like, because it's interesting seeing really powerful elderly entities in shows. I like seeing that because they are not a very common archetype. So I like seeing one that's done in like his chaotic neutral stance of whatever, I'm here because I just want that flower. See ya.
I do hope he actually remains chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Because there's a part of me that would love, like, I don't need more villains. We've got Joseph coming back soon. Like I saw the preview. Guess who's back?
Yep.
I would like Ashinai is already shown himself to be far too strong. Like the steps that they would have to take to actually like deal with him if he were to become a full-on villain, I feel like would basically jumpstart the plot too much. I like this progression. I think Joseph is the perfect antagonist for this.
Yeah, Chise needs at least like, I don't know, 5 Zenkai boosts before then.
Yeah, that's exactly. You make that joke, but that's perfect.
Yeah.
Because that power creep is a real thing. So. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious. The next episode, I think we're about to get back on track with the plot.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I can hang with a self-contained episode here or there, but the thing that's got me invested is the larger arcs of these characters.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
this felt like it fit in a weird place, or maybe even didn't really fit in those larger arcs.
No, and you're right. It really didn't. Especially after the last one having so much like development with Chise, this was just kind of okay. Here's back to kooky magic adventure, and it didn't bother me. But yeah, in terms of servicing the character development that I think we all enjoy, it was lackluster than the past ones.
Yeah. If anything, it did feel like it was reiterating that conflict from last episode of how much autonomy Chise should have, like, that has not been resolved. That is still an open point of contention between the two of them, where he's still very much like, no, you gotta ask my permission. I gotta be with you every second you're out of this house. And she's still kind of like, yeah, but no, Dad, that I also want to kiss.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about a place further than the universe. Oh, man.
I don't.
This felt so real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, damn, if I haven't like had been in either stance of that conversation before. I've had to do both of those things. Be the one to hear that and to tell someone else that too.
Yeah, like the simplistic way to say this is like when you start to come into yourself, when you start to improve yourself, that's when you find out who your real friends are. But that's not true. That's not right. And it didn't like set Megumi up as this like, oh, she was never your real friend. Like, no, she was your real friend. And then when that balance got thrown out of whack, it's rough for her to find where's the new balance.
Yeah.
Where do I stand now? And I think people they have to test you. That's just part of human nature. They have to test where are those boundaries now.
What a fantastic setup, by the way. Because we commented on the first couple episodes, Megumi's there. She's her girlfriend. She's got her. And she's happy to be there for her. Like, any remark that she makes, any snarkness is always in this place, coming from this place of love. Like, she'll mock her, but she's also there, but like, don't worry, I'm here. It's fine.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time either. I've noticed it, not so much that I put it in the plot summaries, but I've noticed she's said a couple of times now, just be careful, because if you get your hopes up, it'll hurt that much more when you fail.
Yeah.
That is low-key, kind of not cool.
Yeah, actually, agreed. Like, that was always one of those things where, like, that's not what you say.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I felt like she was just being set up as, like, someone who cared but was just looking out for her. It was a little more insidious than that. And it's kind of interesting because, again, this is a character you feel like is not wholeheartedly trying to sabotage her because she wants her to fail, but she's afraid. She's like, well, what if I told her mom? And then she just does it. She's like, yeah, that you know, but and then if she can't go, that's fine, right? She wasn't that invested, right? And that's, oh man, I've seen that happen. I've done that. Like, I'll be honest, I've been that guy before. I've been that guy who, when I felt like my friends were falling away from me, my instinct was, well, if you're not my friend, burn it all down. Like, I've had that. And so it's kind of, it's to see that happen here in such a real way with these characters. Oh, that, goddamn.
Yeah. I felt like the way it ended with breakup rejected, big hug, like, that was a little fast. I don't think there's any way around that, because guess what? Next episode, she's going to fucking Australia. Like, they got to wrap up this little character plot arc. So I was willing to go with it, but
And that's it. It wasn't out of character for her, which is why I was okay with it. I do agree, though, is like that's usually not how something like that goes, but we're also dealing with very unconventional people in a very weird scenario. So I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I really loved the breakup rejected. It was so cute. Like, yeah, you kind of put it to bed really quickly, but I also love when she tries to offer her come with me.
And they both know that that's like, nah,
Yeah, no.
we're leaving today. You haven't been part of this training. You haven't been like, yeah. That's not actually a solution, but the fact that that's the first place that her mind goes, not like, well, fuck you. You've been sabotaging me. What are you doing? Like, oh, it's making you feel insecure that I'm doing all this awesome stuff that you're not a part of. Then be a part of it. Come on, let's go. Like, yeah, that's warming. That's gratifying to see.
Yeah. And it was funny. I was talking with that friend again, and he was like, oh man, I kind of want her to be more involved in the story. And I'm like, yeah, but this isn't her story, though. Like, she has no part in Antarctica. There's nothing waiting for her there that's there to fulfill her. This was a great way to keep her in this story. And after this, I doubt that she'll even be, like, she'll probably have some correspondence with, by the way, her name is Kimari. And that I keep forgetting that because I want to, because every time I think of Kimari, I think of the Ronso from Final fucking Fantasy X.
Yep.
It's why I can't call Genki Face Hinata because Naruto.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they're such opposite characters.
Yeah, they're literally the opposite. But yeah, I can expect that there will be correspondence, but that character, what a way to handle her. Like, I loved her from the very beginning, and this was such a heart-wrenching but completely believable, like, man, I didn't expect it. I got that she was obviously a little bit like, oh, I'm losing my friend, but I thought that was just going to be sadness. I didn't expect bitterness.
Yeah, and just the fact that I didn't expect that she was actively sabotaging her in palpable ways, as opposed to just like kind of low key, like, yeah, but you'll probably fail, and then you'll kind of be on your back again, and that's where I like you because then I can be the one on top.
Yeah, and I was kind of here or there on that because we haven't seen anything about like people talking about her. I don't think.
She basically said that the rumors were happening.
No, but like, there's nothing in the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
in episodes 1 through 3 that show that, or the fuck episode it is.
Yeah.
And like,
because they were out of the school. Like, if there were
Yeah.
those rumors going on, we had never had a chance to see them. We only hear them.
So when we
from-
hear that, I'm like, that's really out of left field. I bet that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I believe when she says that I was the one who started those rumors, the way I read that personally is, yeah, she was trying to, and it gained no traction because nobody but her gives a shit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Also, but the thing with the mob made sense. I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, that too.
I was wondering about that. Like, I just kind of thought, oh, well, parents find out everything.
Yeah.
Don't think you ever have something past your parents. They find everything out one way or the other.
Yep.
But the fact that it was her, I was like, oh, okay, yep, that sounds right.
Yep. Low key, aside from that plot part, something I noticed in the very first scene, they're filming a little like update, like, hey, here's this ship that we're going to be on.
Yeah.
This was the first time that we have seen Idol Girl's stage persona, that we have
Yeah.
seen her on, and it is such a night and day difference from her regular personality.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm glad you brought that up. That was so cool. I've been wanting to see that.
Yeah.
I like seeing a portrayal of someone like that. Because if these mics weren't on, I'd probably be like, yeah, it was pretty good. Episode was pretty cool. What'd you think about it? Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm not projecting, going like, hey, what's up? Because that's what you do. And yeah, it was cool seeing her do that. And I like seeing Shirase go like just over and over in the head. Shit, what do I do? I gotta say this.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah. Shiraishi is YouTube girl and Shirase is Antarctica. But yeah, watching her just jump with that stone look on her face, just sucking the energy out of that shot. Yeah, she's God, if I told you that Shirase is one of my favorite characters in this entire thing, because she is so driven, she can be stoic, but she's actually a total doofus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Genki Face points out too, like, as soon as somebody's around who she can see as an enemy,
Yeah.
then she is driven, she's stoic, but as soon as that element is gone, all her neuroticism comes rushing back.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And that's such a cool character. Somebody who is on at most when she feels challenged. It's like, fuck you, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it better than you could. And it's I love her. I love Shirase. Like it's funny because I thought like Hinata was gonna be one of my favorite characters, and I still really like her.
Yeah.
She's actually my least favorite of the 4, and she's still real funny and real good. But like, yeah, I find something in all of these characters that are just so solid, you know?
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about Junji Ito Collection for something that's a little less solid, but still pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all right.
I'm glad like you saw like the visuals. I think really went the extra mile here for that first part. Like that really did something fun with just the color scheme, the way the shots were angled like in the hallways, just seeing how disjointed and creepy the whole house looks. And then when it like transitions from like him going out and in of like the other like dimension, and it's just kind of like wham! Oh, I'm on the first floor. What the fuck? Like that did a lot for me. I thought that was really cool. And like the girl going to his house, and like, hey, okay, let's go in. Hey, oh, she's gone. All right, she's completely cut. Like, I thought it was really cool.
If I can be honest with you, I wish this had been a whole episode.
I know,
Like,
me too.
Yeah, this concept is really good. But for me, and again, we come back to really cool visuals, but the art and animation is
I know.
struggling.
It is, yeah.
To communicate them because it has no idea how to, if it wants to do these, it needs to stop trying to fully animate these scenes and go with something more, what's the term?
Metaphorical?
Limited?
No. Well, not limited. Abstract.
Yeah.
Because it does not, it doesn't try to do abstract with its art here.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel like that is necessary if you don't have the budget to really make the grass flow and the fog feel real and the shadows to like change as they move. If they don't have the budget or the time or the animators to do that, they need to start thinking more abstract because these scenes are so like the designs for those monsters were crazy creepy. I was getting real. I have no mouth, but I'm a scream with Worm Chick.
Yeah, right.
And oh my God, the design of that character when the alternate universe when he gets stabbed with the growth serum.
Right.
That was so good. I was
Yeah.
like, holy
Yeah.
shit, that design. That is nightmare fuel, top to bottom. But they're not presented great. So I'm like, that's real cool, but I mean, they're kind of just.
No, they're fumbling a lot of the execution. I'm a bit more in the camp of I see what they're trying to do and I'm willing to meet it halfway.
But again, it always takes me back to, I bet that was really creepy in the manga.
Yeah, and you know what? When you know it's an adaptation of something that's amazing as a manga, I don't fault you for thinking that at all.
Although, again, the last shot.
So good.
Yeah.
So
the last shot, by the way. So alternate universe kid who's I loved as a tiny bit of levity in this otherwise entirely creepy thing. The whole reason why this kid keeps seeing monsters in his house is because this alternate universe version of him is trying to figure out a way to make himself taller.
Yeah.
And he's experimenting on people and body horror, like it goes wrong, and then the monsters wander into his reality. But he shoots himself up with this growth serum, and his spine like pops his
all
head
his
up out
like
of him.
extremities just like get extra ligaments. It's crazy.
And as he's dying from his own ineptitude, he says, "Well, I may die, but don't forget there are 1,000 other alternate yous, and most of them are murderers." and then he dies, and the guy and the girl are like, "Do you think we can escape? Do you think we can get back into our reality?" And just then you see another pair of feet,
Yeah, and this is hip down. Like, so
Yeah.
you're only seeing their legs when they're doing this last shot.
Yep.
yeah,
And then just cut. End of episode. Yeah.
yeah, there's no follow up. You just see the legs and then.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Good
Yeah.
horror ending. I love that kind of shit. And it worked really well here.
Yeah, and okay, so expand upon one of my issues is that since it's so like these stories probably I don't know if they cut anything from the manga.
I haven't read this one. I couldn't tell you.
I hear that things do get cut. For this one, I really could have used more with him as just a student. I needed more, like, because it's like, oh, everyone makes fun of me for being short. One dude made fun of you for being short in one scene.
Yeah.
Otherwise, okay, I guess. Like, I didn't feel his conflict, like, at all. So when it came out that there's an alternate version of him trying to, like, turning people into Eldritchian horrors to be taller, I was like, okay, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, you introduced that as a concept, but hold on. We're going to do the clickety-clackety, and then we'll continue with me being a...
We did the clickety-clackety, and now we're backety.
Okay, so now back to you being a blank.
Yeah, back to me being just...
Crotchety,
yeah,
unfun.
Yeah, super unfun. I am unfun man.
You know, it was subtle, but I sort of wonder, because I called him short boy. He's not super short. It doesn't seem like.
They're just average.
Yeah, there's the one classmate who gives him shit who seems like quite tall for his age.
Yeah.
Just got that growth spurt, and he's like, yeah, you can't get girls because you're short. Nobody likes you because you're short. Yeah, like you say, that is the only person who gives him shit about it. The girl is a little bit taller than him, not like head and shoulders, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Was it just me, or was she low-key flirting with him all episode?
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like, slightly in a teasing way, but in a teasing way to try to provoke a, like, no, you're into this, though, right? Like, come on, hit on me, though.
Yeah. Oh, no, she's totally into him. And
Yeah, she was ready to go to his place before she got sucked into another dimension, became a worm monster.
So I think that did work for the fact that, like, this Napoleon complex is mostly in his head.
Yeah, and like that's the other thing too, is I don't need to dwell on the monster dimension half because you're already dealing with a completely different logic and reality. So he could in that version of his school, if it's this hellish, maybe everyone is shitting on him for being short. Like, I don't know. Like that's where I'm okay with it. And the thing that this show is doing well, and like the stories like this really encapsulate it. The whole the Lovecraftian thread that Junji Ito tugs so well, that there is this underbelly of a reality that you will only see poke up sometimes. And this perfectly highlights that with just like, okay, I'm going to bed, going back home, and things are normal, but my normal is still really weird.
And I think they did a great job visually of cementing that surreality and that dream logic where when they cross into the alternate dimension, you don't see exactly where it happens because it's not this light switch. Oop, now you're in the upside down. It's like, no, it's always bleeding in. You're never sure where you're at.
Yeah.
His wallpaper is, I mean, it's just a black and red, like, checkerboard pattern, but it doesn't look like anything that anybody would ever actually have on their wall.
It feels like it felt very Stephen King, this episode. I got a lot of vibes of that.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. And so like that first part really did knock it out of the park.
A little bit Twin Peaks.
Yeah, tiny bit. But
Yeah.
you
But
want to talk about the second part?
yeah. So
Do we?
like, here's the thing. I think that first, on top of just like not knowing where I stood, that first segment in that first episode didn't spin things out far enough. Wasn't wacky enough. This went full wacky almost immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved the teacher and the way he moved. Like, as much as I
Yes.
shit on the animation, the back half though, with the way he was moving, and, like limping around in the wind, loved it. I wouldn't trade any of the scenes with the cloth shit for anything. It was really just the stuff with Koichi on his own that I
Yeah.
could have taken or left.
And again, one of the things that the series is trying to do is play on Ito's own like horror dynamic. Like, I'm gonna do something terrible. Gives the kid a beard.
Yeah, he gives him a beard. That was so good.
I didn't realize that they were supposed to be in elementary school this whole time.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
part of that also has to do with the fact that like all of the Seiyu are probably in their 20s, 30s, so they all sound like adults.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and they're also, other than what's his name, Candlejack, other than him who does look sort of young, everybody's drawn like high schoolers.
Yeah.
Like and that's for the whole show. There are no children.
Yeah.
Everybody looks like high school aged minimum at
Yeah.
all times.
Yeah, and that's kind of the part that I think is the most compelling is like having, because when you have like the kids freaking out about like, oh, this is spooky shit, it's easy to see how like that can get a little reductive. Like, whatever, kid, it's not that scary, get over it. But this was like legit. Holy shit, that's really creepy. She has nails for teeth.
Oh yeah, no, like those designs were real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Candlejack and Muppet teacher spitting nails at each other and
Yeah,
like
right?
playing around
Like,
during recess, because like everybody knew a kid like this in like probably elementary or middle school who was just a little off, was just a little creepy, probably kind of smelled bad.
This is what I wonder if this is a self-insert for him, where he was that creepy kid, and now he's
be.
just like, this is probably what everybody thought I was, and you know what? Let's just have some fun with it.
I like that idea. I actually am.
I wonder if there's more to that, but that's how I've been kind of seeing it now.
That would make me feel a little bit better, considering that he's kind of the face of this show in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, what if that weird creepy kid who sat behind you in elementary school, what if he actually had magical powers though?
Yeah. What if he could do the voodoo that he do?
Yeah.
He'd give you a beard.
Yeah, he'd give you a beard. He'd turn all the teachers into Muppets, but he couldn't really control them. Like, there's no master plan.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't know, you're a Muppet now. Deal with that.
I love that when the more I talk about it, the more I think I actually did enjoy this more than I think I did. Because he made another Muppet for the kid who he gave the beard to, because he wanted to curse him because he showed off because he pulled his pants down, everybody saw his ass, and so the Muppet suddenly comes alive and he's running down the street with his little squeaker feet. I loved that. I thought it was just so goofy, and then he shows up and gets ripped in half, and you just see him lying there, just nothing but a bunch of cotton, and there you go. That's it. Everybody sees his ass and laughs because he's a stupid little kid.
Yep. Yeah, there's no real resolution to any of this. All the Muppets just kind of stop for no apparent reason, but I don't know. What do you want from this show? It's not a show about resolution.
It reminds me a bit of Courage the Cowardly Dog sometimes, and I think in a good way.
Yeah, it's close to Goosebumps for me.
Yeah. Well, that too.
But Kokkoku, that's a show.
It
I
is
guess,
a show.
Still.
Yeah.
I don't.
People are gonna still be mad that Darling and the Franxx bit it instead of Kokkoku.
I think you're overestimating that.
Maybe I am.
Like, Kokkoku has a very neat premise, and I think I've been hearing that people agree it's taking its sweet ass time to do anything. So I don't think we're alone in thinking that. But this episode, I felt, was a nudge in the direction that promises some sort of incline. Like, we were kind of just going like this, but now it's like, oh, cool, we have another character that isn't in the family doing something. That's all I wanted. That is all I fucking wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I needed there to be some actual dynamic outside of the main family. And she's got a good story going on.
Yeah,
like she
I
lost
like it a
her
lot.
She lost her family in here. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's got an actual motivation, which is something that a lot of these characters are missing.
Yeah, because she saw Jury as a kid and got expelled from that. That's how she is still around, is because she kind of saved her.
Yeah, and that's interesting to me because there's no bad blood there, but she needs to know, what can I do?
Yeah, when she's got this theory that if Jury did her little hand spooge deal, if she did that to a herald, what would happen? Would they come back? Would they be human again? Could she at least gather up their mortal remains and give them a proper burial? Burial?
Yeah.
Burial in the backyard. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that's all right. On the other hand, I don't like this, people turn into heralds because they give in to despair.
Yeah.
yeah,
And as I
agreed.
said, the stuff with the heralds. On one hand, some of it's cool. They're creepy creatures. I wish there were just one of them. And the fact that people turn into them, not a fan of.
I don't like that either.
Having the heralds there in the first place was already something I was kind of here or there on, but their designs are so cool.
Yeah.
Like the moment I saw it, I'm like, that's a great creature design, and it kills people who try to break the rules. That's neat. But yeah, the whole, my mom was one and my little brother's one, and
Yeah. I don't know. I was happy that they thinned the ranks a little bit by killing off some characters that were not needed in the first place. I called them red polo shirt and blue polo shirt because they're the same character. Why do we need two of them?
Yeah, I do not, and have not since the beginning, liked... Okay, I thought they were funny and neat at first. No, this cult, they're the least interesting part of this entire...
Yeah, they're so boring. And like we're that's the thing. This show expects us to already care implicitly about its world. And I don't. And it needs to make me care. And so if, like the flashback, getting some, actual humans in the circumstances makes it more interesting. But it's like, oh, what if Harold? What if person? What if do X with Y thing? I don't care about these equations. I care about the person.
Yeah, and it seems like this entire show is going to take place in this period of stopped time.
I hope that's wrong.
And
I hope you're wrong.
And that's why I killed it, because I believe that too, and that is not what I want out of this show. I want them going in and out and doing crazy things with it. I don't want them just... We've said it before, they're stuck in a moment and they can't get out of it.
Although, so Tsubasa, for the first time in the entire show, actually made me care. Which impressive in its own right.
On getting stabbed?
Yeah, well, by saving Makoto. Like in that one scene, he actually does the right thing. That was very brave, which was, Makoto, run. I will do my best. And I was like, okay, cool. You're still kind of a shitty character, but at least you did that. Meanwhile, the dad is terrible, and if he died, the entire show would be better off for it.
Yep. He's kind of the worst.
Yeah, he is so actively bad, I can't take it.
I don't see him being actively bad. I think he's just a non-character. He's just a speed bump to anything cool happening.
But he is a character. I've seen this person. I like in real life and in other media. He's selfish. He's ignorant. He's lazy, and he's just dragging things down by existing here.
Damn.
Like, I'm sorry, usually with these sorts of characters, as long as they're not huge impediments to the plot, or at least the plot is interesting enough to where, like, okay, so how are they going to deal with this guy? No, he's just kind of there taking screen time away in the worst possible manner. God.
And there's just too many moving pieces. Like,
and that's...
At the end,
totally
Tsubasa and Makoto go, I guess, home and get ambushed, I guess.
Yep.
Like, I'm sure that if I sat down with a careful watching, you could suss out exactly where they're going and why. I can't keep track of it all, and I don't care.
Yeah, actually, I'm having that trouble, too.
Yeah. And I don't know that there's much more to say.
I don't think so. I'm a bit more optimistic, and you're pessimistic, and that is absolutely, I get you, dude.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. The thing we have to transition into, I feel like, is second verse same as the first, because it's Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens.
It's pretty much copy-paste what we just said.
Yeah, with the rather significant difference that this did just wrap a bunch of stuff up, so you can at least be optimistic that, hey, maybe the next plot arc will be better.
On one half, you have a show that will not move the plot. On another show, we've just finished a plot.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that's definitely something in its favor, because I just talking about the episode, I did enjoy Banba being the samurai dude. I did actually find that fun. That was cool. I liked him showing up and like just being like, okay, I'm with the Avengers now, because they were always the most interesting part. So just trim the fat away. We know who the cool people are. Get right to them. Now let's see. Now that everybody's here in one space, we have Lin, we have Banba, and the Avengers, people we care about. Let's see what they're gonna do.
See, you guys keep saying that the Avengers are the most interesting
Conceptually.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. I don't know who these characters are. I don't know what they want, and I don't give a shit about them.
I mean, I know. Okay, I could not tell you explicitly who these characters are, but I can tell you, like, I know what they do for a living. I know their personalities, and I know how they contribute to the plot. And that's one of the most important parts. But I think, and here's one of the things that I'm finding is dragging the show down. It is not all that visually interesting. It's got a lot of cool concepts in terms of visuals, and it's competent. It's not, trust me, there are worse looking shows out there.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't change things up a lot. Like, going back to Kokkoku. You know what one of my favorite parts of that episode was? all right, if I do it, will you fuck me?
Yeah.
And the look on her face and the look on the other guy's face, I'm like, oh, wow, that was some art change. We see actual expressions from these characters.
Yeah.
That's another thing that Kokkoku has been lacking is real expression changes that are really interesting. In Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens, one of the things I'm finding is really dragging it down is its insistence on kind of keeping the same style with each shot. It's kind of sterile with that. Even though we get these cool shots of like, yeah, cutting guys down and stabbing dudes, and when he swings this the sword in its sheath and knocks the bomb back to him, and he's like, "Are you serious?" Like I was like, "See, there's some cool stuff going on here," but none of it feels all that dynamic. They're not doing a lot with angles, with speed, with weight. It's all just coming across as like the story being competently told. Again, it's all like C+, B-. Like you're getting a passing grade, but you're not wowing me.
Yeah, I probably would have enjoyed that scene more if not for, again, as I referenced in the plot summary, the fact that Detective Bonba, a.k.a. Martin Stewart, but Marty Stew for short, he's perfect. He has no flaws.
Yeah.
And you would think the fact that he's the samurai, he's the assassin of assassins and the samurai killer, etc. You would think that would inform the character, like that's why he's so good. But instead of improving the character, it merely explains the character. It does nothing to actually it actually makes the problem worse because now you know, oh, okay, so what does that do about the fact that he's kind of the secondary main character? Like, if he were just a third, if he were a force within the plot, that might be more interesting because then his focus wouldn't be there, and he's basically too good for everybody. Like, even when the plot goes way south, he's like, yeah, but I'm still here, and I'm still awesome, and I'm going to save the day because I'm Bonba.
Spicy pollock roe.
Spicy pollock roe.
A 5-year supply.
Again, not a character.
I agree with everything. It was the most milquetoast fuck I could have given this week. It was either way.
Although him
it's
killing
fine.
all those dudes, I was okay with.
I was okay.
I'm always okay with there being fewer characters for me to not give a shit about.
I can't believe they cleaned up like that though. I was expecting this to go on. No, killed eye patch dude. I was like, oh
Done.
shit, eye patch
Get
dude
out.
bought it? Wow. I'm surprised. And then fucking the chick was like, yeah, like I'm gonna stick around. Okay, you're dead. Bye.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, that's good. That's actually some what happened to her? Oh, she got well.
Yeah, she got framed. She got everything pinned on her. She took the fall.
So
that's
she's
the epilogue.
Yeah, so she's also out.
The mayor's out. So
all of it's cleaned up. Like literally all those characters.
Kingpin's dead. Russian guy died last episode.
Okay, so can I be kind of morbid here?
Okay.
I really wish we could have seen that little shit get tortured. I'm sorry. Like I was like, you're gonna go this far, and then you're not gonna have Lin do it. He's killed folks. We've seen him do this. This wouldn't be a matter of like, no, my sister wouldn't want this. No, fuck that. He didn't get the kill on him and leaves him to the torturer guy, and then we cut away.
I don't know. I didn't care enough about this character to want to see him get his comeuppance.
Yeah,
I guess that's kind of the thing. Is like I liked seeing what we got. I felt like for the purpose that was developing, like Lin getting the what he needed and just moving on, it was fine.
I guess it just kind of felt like there was a lot of build. Like then again, maybe. Here's the thing: it's either one of two things. Either they were building him up to be this kind of Joffrey character and failed, or they weren't, and he was just boring.
I think it's the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everything about him seemed like a shorthand. He kills defenseless women. Do you hate him yet?
Yeah, exactly. It is very easy to hate. Like
Yeah.
it is wearing everything on its sleeve.
Yeah, but even that is just informed. We are told that he does horrible things to women. We're not shown.
Exactly.
Joffrey, we're shown what a horrible little shit he is. This guy, we're just told, like, yeah, he kills women.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like being. It's the equivalent of an enemy soldier in a video game being called a Nazi so that you feel okay gunning him down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like we're not going to see the gas chamber. We're not going to see, like, we're not going to use this for anything interesting. It's just, this is a game about mowing people down en masse. Today it's Nazis, tomorrow it's zombies, Thursday it'll be orcs.
Yeah. I just wanted it to. It just kind of made Lynn's story ultimately feel. I don't know.
Yep, as empty and hollow as every other story in this show.
Kind of. Also, also Sad Sack got reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Although he looked exactly the same to me.
Yeah.
Wow, you racist.
Because his character design was already the most generic character design, which is fine. That fits the character.
Yeah.
But they changed it from the most generic character design to another, the most generic character design.
You picked option 3 in the character select
He
menu.
does look prettier. Like, I noticed that almost immediately. I'm like, you look prettier, which is actually worse because I liked it when you kind of just had the boyish, regular, like, average Joe look.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know. I know I like Tiny Life in the Woods better than this show.
I like Tiny Life in the Woods better than, like, 90% of the shows on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tiny Life in the Woods continues to be exactly what I need it to be. And
Yeah.
that it's just it already had its identity established in episode 1, and it's just ever so carefully nudging it just a bit. Like with the horror-ish like conflict of the owl. Like that was the most like kind of boundary pushing thing. And last episode we had her going to work and like seeing that shit. Like I'm very curious to see what else we're going to see outside of, their common everyday ruminations. That said, if we just get them cooking or doing shit for the first half of an episode, I still really like it.
I did wonder, because this is the sort of show that has so much detail in every little bit that anytime I see something, I always question it. So the way they dealt with the owl was they said, look, if one of these things goes after us, we got this dried meat, drop it and run. And they do. And the owl takes the dried meat, and at the end, the owl shows up with some fresh fruits for them, like, hey, thanks for the dried meat. Turns out the owl's all right. I'm wondering, given that every creature that we've seen is intelligent, where's this meat coming from? What's the creature that is an animal that is okay to kill and butcher and make meat out of?
What was that meat?
I don't know.
They didn't say it.
They just said dried meat.
I think that was just translation of something Niku, which is just like dried ass meat.
Yeah. If we'll pay attention, they've been killing fish like.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah. Fish totally on the menu, it seems.
Didn't
Yeah.
look like fish meat though.
No.
And dried out, it would be all flaky. It seemed like it was some kind of venison.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's.
and that's the thing. It's not like, because they've also been really consistent about animals are whatever size they are. These
Yeah.
tiny people do not have tiny cows.
Yeah.
So unless they're like Lilliputian style ganging up on Gulliver, if they're taking down a
Tie them all
cow
down.
like once every 5 years and
Yeah.
just coasting on that, and if that's what it is, I'm all about it.
They did say at the end of the episode, I can't remember how it came up. I can't remember it, but I know I think it was Mikochi saying, "Oh, I've never seen a cow."
Yeah.
Didn't she actually say, I don't remember
Yeah.
how they get to that, but yeah, cows do exist, so I can only imagine they're this colossal creature.
No, it's really cute because she's like, tell me another one of your stories. Okay, I got the best one for you. I can tell you what it sounds like when a group of cows are making noise together.
Oh,
And she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
really? I've never met a cow before. And I'm like, huh. But yeah, no, that's a good point. What meat is that? And there's also the fact that there's wolves. What they eating?
Yeah. You know what? I was about to say I could see these motherfuckers taking down a rabbit. But I mean, they got badgers and those are intelligent. So wouldn't rabbits be intelligent in their world too?
Yeah.
No, there was a rabbit like on the like the carriage or
Yep.
whatever. There was a rabbit waiting to go on like the bus.
Yeah. So okay, they're probably not hunting rabbits.
Yeah.
But there's like that's the thing is like Mikochi also is like scared of these bugs, but not the bugs that deliver the mail or that she
Yeah.
rides.
Yeah.
So there's like I don't know. There's some stigma maybe.
I don't know. Is this like Narnia style? Because in Narnia, there are intelligent talking animals, but there are also dumb beasts too. And if you're going hunting, it's on you to say, hey, can you talk? No? All right.
Oh, sorry. Are you listening to something? Now this.
Just gonna yell, hey, you. If your head doesn't move, it's coming off.
4.
They'll know.
Yep.
Yeah. This. I don't know. know. It's pleasant. I always feel good watching the show. And when you say the feel good show, that's all it's got to do.
Yeah, and again, that songstress, like I did not like her the first time she showed up. But here, I was like, okay, yeah, you got me. Yeah, I'm actually a fan of this character now. Way to go, show.
High Dive cannot get their Roku app ready fast enough because my whatever Bluetooth connection my phone has with my Roku box was fucking up on me, and I had to watch this episode on my phone, and it sucked.
See, I could actually imagine. I almost did it last night, too. I almost downloaded the app so I could get in bed. Because I was like, man, I could put some headphones on and watch this in bed and then fall asleep immediately after.
That's the thing. If I could give it my full attention on my phone screen lying back in bed, that'd be a great way to watch this. I can't go back and forth between my phone screen and taking notes effectively.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the problem.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's the thing. Like we've talked about a few different adaptations of like little 4-panel comic strips before and asked like, yeah, how do you even do that? This is it. This is how you do it. So having it on a small screen is not a problem because it is this small format show. I think it's fitting, if anything, but it does demand my full attention.
Yeah. And again, I know we said this last time. I just want to keep reiterating it. The framing is so cool. Like how they just have stuff embedded. Like there's this shot where Mikochi like just takes some of the stew and it's like separated across 3 different panels. And you think it's gonna fill out to take up the whole frame, but it doesn't. It's just separated in those panels, and it looks really cool.
Yep, it guides the eye in
Yes.
a wonderful way. Let's guide your eyes to the clickety-clack board. We'll be right back. Until I was like 16, I thought the Beach Boys song Barbara Ann was about a barber named Ann. Killing Bites.
I haven't heard. Like, if I knew the tune off the top of my head, I would have like done it with you. But I don't know.
Barbara Ann.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ram.
Barbara Ann.
Come and take my hand.
You got me rocking and a rolling,
Rocking and a reeling, ba-ba-ram, ba-ba-ba-ba-ram.
All
That
right,
one.
and now that we're demonetized,
Hey, I tried my best. Okay, we are not sponsored in any way.
Yep.
We're not representing anything. This is just generic
soda. Soda generic.
Soda generic.
Soda generic.
Yeah. Oh, I like it.
Soda.
Killing Bites soda. It doesn't have a pop top. You've got to pop the can with your fangs. That's
Your
what
fangs
killing...
must be this sharp. That's what Killing Bites is.
Yes.
Yeah, it must be this sharp to bite.
I love this episode.
I know, right? It was everything good about the show.
Yeah, and it could have so easily been, well, now they're getting to the real plot. Fuck this shit. This isn't what I
No
come to this
fun
show
anymore.
for. Yeah.
Nah.
No. Perfect.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they weren't kidding about actually playing a game. Okay,
Yeah.
I love this stupid shit. What do we got? Oh, and I was never under the inclination he was going to be some savant dude, but I was not expecting him to actually be... They were just playing the beta male angle so hard,
Yep.
and I was worried it would get tired. It hasn't.
No.
They're having so much fun with it and keep pulling out shit like, nah, dude, he doesn't know shit.
So one of the things that I've been doing with the show specifically is that I've been reading the manga as the chapters as the episodes come out because I'm curious. They have been cutting out a little bit. In fact, you know Bear Dude? Yeah, they don't really go over his backstory. They do in the manga. You know what his deal was?
What's that?
He is a sumo wrestler who became so strong he accidentally murdered an attacker who was just really upset that he thought he was fixing matches. Yeah, no, he just got really damn strong. So when this guy tries to stab him, first of all, it doesn't work. Second, he just hits him once.
So he's Russian.
Yeah.
Strong like bear.
Knives do not work on me. I'm Russian. So, you know, and he hits the guy, and it's a shot where he hits him so hard his eye comes out.
Hell yeah.
And so he resigns. He's like, nope, I'm not doing sumo wrestling anymore. But not out of shame, but because he wants to see what he can do.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and so finally, Mr. Please Love Me, Daddy, comes to him and is like, hey, so you're like really strong and stuff. but do you like really want to kill people, like for real? And he's like, fuck yeah, what do I do? And so he turns him into a bear.
I can dig it.
Yeah. By the way, that is a fucking wall of meat. Like, just,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God damn. Like, we had Leo over here being all Leo-mon. No, here is just like a brick fucking house of muscle, and it's crazy. And I love, it's so funny. It's like, wait, but this is the first time I've hit you. No, it's not. I know, I've seen this attack before, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is some bullshittery, but it's so in line with this show.
Yeah.
Yep. I like how Lion came up all polite, like, hey, you know what? I'm sitting this one out, but you won fair and square. Like, yeah, he's kind of fucking around behind her back, but I like that he can just
See, this is when it like came into focus for me. I was like, this is just a fighting game.
Yeah.
Nobody's actually dying. Everyone is going to shake hands after the 7th Iron Fist tournament where I will now rule the world, but we're all friends afterward. I didn't actually kill you.
Yeah, what's the Japanese word for paw? The Iron Paw Tournament.
Like this is just straight up bloody roar Tekken Dead or Alive shit, and it's so fun.
This is literally Tekken mixed with Dead or Alive
Yeah.
and Bloody Roar, and that's kind of awesome. I'm okay with this.
And Tiger has such a man crush on Lion.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he's like, "Oh, you man, if it weren't for this arm, we'd totally be fighting." He's like, "You're fucking bullshitting. You're trying to bullshit out of this. I don't like it." Also, interesting thing in the manga, he had his arm in a sling, but here he's just like, no, it's just injured.
Yeah,
So,
he just got in his pocket.
so
Playing it cool.
Just thought it was neat, but
Yeah. I kind of skimmed over the whole party scene, but yeah, we get some interesting scenes of the characters interacting a little more. Like this feels like, hey, here's your Chunin exam. Here's all
Totally
these,
right.
yeah.
Here's all the different clans.
Yep, I'm trying to see if I can't affix a hat to each of these clans. So far, I've got that Sumitomo seems to be the Slytherin, the
Slytherin,
evil house.
absolutely, with
That's
Vegeta.
Yep, Ersatz Vegeta hanging out. Yatsubishi, they're all kitty cats. Kitty cat house.
yeah.
Yep. Bear belongs to the Mitsukato. Something. I don't know.
I think it's that.
I haven't figured out what their deal is yet. Ishida, that's where our main characters are at. That's Fat Wolverine and Hitomi Badger and Rabbit. They seem to be the Hufflepuff kind of losers, lovable losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Maybe Gryffindor. Maybe they're supposed to be the good guys. I don't think anybody's the good guys.
Fucking Hippo.
Fucking
Fucking
man! I was sitting there laughing for 3 minutes straight.
Oh, man.
I couldn't stop because he transforms. Like, oh, you already had your back partially transformed. Like, just, it's so incongruous with his design. Like, his head is the size of his gut.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's so good.
So I couldn't help. Before TFS at the Table did D&D, I was in this Pathfinder campaign. Look up the Loading Crew on YouTube if you're curious. It's me, Masako, Korean Megami 33, and a bunch of friends. And there was this summoned hippopotamus that one of our party could summon, who we knew for a fact that he was a plant, he was working for the bad guy, but he was so lovable that we played along with him anyway. He could only say his own name like a Pokemon, so the whole time we called him Helpo because he was so helpful, and he would just say, Hippo. So I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, Hippo, you back. You didn't betray us after all. I love you, Hippo. Like, we played that as this big, like, no,
Yeah.
Hippo, we loved you. No, you must be being mind controlled. I don't. So, yeah, that had some special love.
Yeah, just as this kind of lovable oaf. Good God, if he didn't win my heart just with that sequence alone, and just seeing everyone come out of the woodwork, and everyone's thinking like, oh, of course, the master plan. Everybody's gonna gang up on Tiger. Ugh.
All right, so let's place our bets, though. So what animal do you think Reptile Dude is? Because obviously he's Reptile, right? The Vegeta-looking motherfucker?
Vegeta? Okay. Bearded dragon.
Bearded Dragon. All
Yeah.
right. I'm thinking Snake.
I could also see Snake.
Because
Yeah, what you know they're gonna go more specific than that. What kind of snake?
yeah. Oh, I just
Because you're gonna have your little infographic of the kind of snake.
I just think he's venomous. Is all that I.
A king cobra?
I'm gonna say jumping tree snake.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now what about the two dudes besides hippo and tiger? The one guy's a
man.
monkey. He's a monkey. He's got to be a monkey. Look at him.
I can't say that they stuck out enough to me for me to say.
Yeah, I couldn't give you one, but I will. I think Vegeta's gonna be a bearded dragon. I will give that one.
I love the announcer chick.
I know, right?
Oh shit.
She's having so much fun.
First turn, we are gonna fight.
Yeah, no, she's
Going nuts.
Yeah, she's like, holy shit, this is the best. And I'm like, man, all right, you're into this.
Yep.
I mean, doesn't touch either Jury or what's her face from Yu Yu Hakusho. Best announcers ever, but she's good. She's solid.
Yeah. No, she's good. I love what's her face? I think what the girl that's sitting next to him, that's with the other family.
Oh, that bitch.
Yeah.
In red?
Yeah, I can't remember because she's with the family that's with the not with the bear. Whatever. Okay, but the other girl. And I just love her pupils. Like whatever, they just dilate so hard.
Yeah.
When they're like, I'm gonna move to this space. And she's like, oh my fucking God, what? She's like, I'm going to murder this man.
Yeah, her expressions are the best, and I am 100% certain that if it weren't against the rules, she would kill him.
Yeah, just
she would
straight up
literally
wham.
murder that man, and it is great.
Did you know if I kill one of your teammates, I can kill you too? Yeah, this show is so fun. If you're not watching it, and you have Amazon Prime, do yourselves a favor.
Yeah.
Chill out, turn your brain off. You will have a great time.
Operation Unsnipped.
I will say the one thing that I didn't like in this episode that I also didn't like in the first episode, but it's just over and done with so quick. Apparently, Ersatz Vegeta is a literal rapist.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's like, I get that you're trying to go like dumb, grim, dark 90s edgy with this.
Remember what you said about Nazis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're setting
yeah.
up for that. Like, so when he gets absolutely murdered, because everyone else seems just to be kind of getting knocked out, but I'm assuming we'll see him actually get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just feels perfunctory in a way that a lot of this,
It
like,
is, yeah.
guess what? You don't need to make him a rapist for me to hate him. He already looks like Vegeta, so I know he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Boom, done.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Yeah,
again, it's just making him a rapist because we got to make sure that people hate him. And
Yeah, like it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just mildly uncomfortable until the scene's over.
yeah, because like you can go trashy. Like in the first episode, like a bunch of guys try to rape her, but they also immediately get murdered before they even like grab a full.
Yeah,
a
we come
handful.
in at the aftermath of stuff.
Yeah, like they don't even get their dicks out before they're all dead. Here, it's we kind of have to assume something terrible just happened to some random woman.
Yeah,
and
you see
that's-
this waitress just unconscious, question mark, maybe dead on the floor of the bathroom. Like, no, man.
Yeah.
The thing I thought you were gonna say that's kind of getting me that I don't like is when he told me gets all kawaii around what's his face. I don't like that. I feel like that's I don't know. I want to know either what his deal is or for something to come of that, because I don't like seeing her that way, I guess.
It's weird. I don't know how I feel about it because I don't know. There's something about me that kind of like I get a laugh out of it for some reason because I'm like, but then there's this one guy who she's just really nice to and loves. You're not wrong that it should feel really insidious and gross, but for me, I'm like, she loves him.
Well, no, it's not even. I don't think it should feel anyway. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I just think that it is not interesting to me. Like, okay, this guy shows up and he told me he's gonna go all.
Well,
That's
I
just
think
whatever.
there has to be something that kind of keeps her a little bit more in check. There has to be a guiding force for her. So I'm okay that it's this one dude. I'm just wondering where they're going to go with that and how they're going to handle it. Because they could really, really screw that up.
Yeah, because speaking of characters who are obviously evil.
Yeah,
yeah.
like that's the thing is I would like it. It just if her reaction being all like, I love him. That's just, I don't know. That's nothing for me. I would be more interested if she was like fearful of something, but I don't know.
That being said, while he is kind of playing this Gendo Ikari
Yeah.
thing, it would be way more fascinating if he actually turned out to be a good guy.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
I
if he
would
ends up
love-
actually being cool, like sabotage this whole thing, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm more than okay with all these experiments being towards the betterment of something, but I fully expect him to be evil. That being said, this show could surprise me. Who knows?
Yeah, this show is consistently just a little bit smarter than it needs to be.
And that's kind of
yeah.
the thing that's giving it the edge. You know, it is slightly smarter than what is necessitated of it. So when you're watching it, you still get that little bit of, like, again, Operation Unthink.
Yeah.
What a great physical joke that is delivered with a perfect delivery.
Yep. Yeah. So perfect. This show continues to be what Juni Taisen wanted to be, and I love it. You know what I don't love?
Uh-oh.
Darling in the Franxx.
Oh no.
What is there to say that we didn't say?
Not much. It's like I think I've been giving it that knife since the start. It felt like what finally turned you guys over to the dark side was the fact that at this point it is now not only boring but formulaic.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
just knowing, just as I pointed out, like every episode is the same structure, and if I gave it more than the 3-episode test, but now we're at episode 4 over that proverbial whatever fake hump. But it's just
If they had introduced these characters as not only competent but also exceptional, if we had really from the very beginning gotten an idea that they're piloting these mechs, the Franxx, that they're not only good at their job but that they can handle these jobs on their own occasionally, I'd have been like, oh yeah, but then you have this one chick who's just better than all of them, but she's got a problem. No. She's just better than all of them, and she's the only one that can get a job done. That's bad. That's bad because none of these other characters can do anything at all. They're completely out of their depth, and the people managing them are ridiculously stupid.
And if there were any reason why she is so into the main character, other than the fact that he's the generic audience insert, hey, what if I were the chosen one and some hot, ultra-competent chick were into me for no reason? That'd be great. But no, she just gloms onto him like, you're my darling, you're the best, let's make out. Why? I don't know.
Like, he's not the character himself is not terrible if like all on his own, because he does have things about him that are good. He's very driven. He likes to be a part of the group. But the fact that the story is forced him into this place of social outcast makes him kind of boring.
yeah, it's the
because
worst
he's not-
place you could put him.
Yeah, he's not able to actually interact with people and be the good leader character. You don't feel like he's supposed to get in that mech and help everybody because, like, all you see is his own personal struggle with not being able to, and that only goes so far. Like,
if he'd been established as the leader that everybody turns to and then had gone through this crisis once we're already invested. Except that I imagine that, and I imagine what him as an effective leader would look like in the hands of people who can write characters at the level that these writers can, and I'm like, no, actually, I don't want to watch that either, because that sounds boring.
imagine if we had a squad out there that was already doing the job these kids were supposed to, and we were learning them as they were getting ready to do this. What if we had seen him alongside these other kids growing up and becoming this leader who then goes through a crisis that he can't do it? Like, what if when it comes down to actual, like, dropping that knife, he can't do it? But no, instead, again, we're set in this, like, we're set, like, mid them already being pilots. So it chose the wrong place to start the story with the wrong set of circumstances and introducing a character that's supposed to shake up a what do you call it? Their status quo when it was never properly established in the first place.
Yeah, all of these problems, which I acknowledged from the beginning, are A1. It's the writing. It is just incomprehensibly bad.
Yeah.
And it's only saved by Trigger trying to do something visually interesting and dynamic when they can.
Yeah, I like the mech designs. I think they're interesting, but they're not carrying any weight. there's
Because there's no background.
Yeah.
They're all in the fucking desert, and they're like, okay, our setting's the desert. That's
Yeah.
what we got.
Or it's in these what do you call it? Fucking. You know how they're walking through like fucking hallways, and they bounce into each other when one of them stops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked like a bunch of regular people walking around a hallway.
Yeah, they all do kind of move like humans, which is something you like the designs. I don't really like them. Maybe just because I like my real and super robots. I like my robots being chunky. I don't like them being humans.
I really like Stardiver, and these
Oh,
are.
Star Driver! Boo!
What? Star Driver was fun, better than this. It was better than this. It was better than this. Star Driver.
All
was-
right. You are right. 'Cause Star Driver at least had fun.
Yes, that's my point.
Star Driver did have fun.
Yeah.
Where this is just. Everyone's just miserable, and I'm like supposed to care. It's taking the worst parts of Ava, the self-wallowing, pitiful shit.
Not the worst parts of Ava. We know what the worst parts of Ava were.
It'll get there.
Those of us who have watched Ava know what the worst parts of Ava were.
Yeah, could you tell us for us that watch them? what the worst parts are, Scott?
Probably Shinji jacking off over a comatose
Wrong!
body.
It's the best part.
Yeah, right. I mean, actually, contextually, within like that movie itself, it was probably the biggest character moment that Shinji Ikari has, maybe in the entire show. Actually,
Hey man, if people remember it, it's probably pretty good.
yeah. Infamous.
For everything.
Infamous is better
That's
than
right.
forgettable.
Well, let's forget about this forgettable show.
I guess we will. So goodbye, darling, and the Franxx. At least you.
If I hear that they go to space, that they go to like inside the Earth, and like we learn like the dinosaurs are actually ancient humans, and they made these robots to harvest Earth, and that's why everything's all barren, I'll be interested again, but I won't be.
Yeah. No, I have a hard time thinking of what somebody could say to me when this has reached episode 16 or 17 to make me think, oh man, I gotta get to that.
Motherfucker, I will give you 3 episodes. I give you 3. That's my personal belief. If you cannot hook me in 3 episodes, you are wrong. You're done a wrong.
Yeah. Let's talk about Pop Team Epic. There was, in that first sketch, I will tell you what I thought was real good. The fact that when she's going to stab the parents and it goes all silhouette,
Yeah.
and the guy is 100% behind her, and then it goes back to now he's 100% in front of her and he's stabbing. Like, yeah, that kind of poor action choreography is in so many anime. I'm like, that was what gave me the spark of recognition. Like, oh yeah, I've seen that hot bullshit. That was in the Gantz anime. I think it was not quite as bad in the manga, or maybe
Oh yeah.
or maybe you just forgive it more because in the manga you kind of have to, like, the motion has to take place in your head. So
Oh, yeah, it was
it's-
just poorly translated to screen.
yeah. So yeah, that was like, yeah, that just happened. I've seen that a million times. That's real dumb. But other than that, like,
Okay, so
Like, I don't know. I could see, like, yeah, this is obviously satirizing some bad romance shit, but I don't watch or read bad romance shit, so I'm not getting the, yup, this is exactly how dumb that is.
No, and I get that. What I enjoy seeing, what this show is fulfilling for me, is seeing the industry having a collective shit on the stuff they have to do for a paycheck. And just going like, man, fuck that. That shit sucks.
I'm curious about something. Hey, so anybody who's really familiar with Japanese culture out there, I try my best. I've studied a lot. I only know so much.
Yeah.
Is it common at all for daughters or sons not to meet the people that their parents, single parents, are suddenly getting married to? Because
Yeah,
we
right?
made a comment on this being a joke about citrus. I'm not sure that it was. I mean, it's definitely a same commentary on the same type of story, but I kind of feel like that's happened in fiction more than a couple times.
No, and I think that was played to a joke here. I think.
No, it's 100% a joke on the scenario, but
But you're wondering, like, how real world, how true that is?
yeah. Like, how does
I don't
manga,
know.
how could any manga get away with that? Like, when I saw that was happening in Citrus, I thought that was the dumbest goddamn thing because that makes zero sense.
Yeah.
So, what? How does that?
Bad writing.
Yeah, that could be really, really bad writing. But I'm wondering if there's any grain of truth to it. Is there a grain of truth to some portion of Japan, like where you just? I don't know.
I think it just became a trope, and everyone took from it because they can't write their own shit.
But it's the worst. That's the dumbest trope I've maybe.
Of course.
Or if like it was something that used to happen in the past and doesn't really happen anymore, but because it became a part of this genre. Like I'm thinking back to, did you ever see Sarah Plain and Tall when you were in school?
No.
It's this old movie. It's got Christopher Walken back when he was a romantic leading man as opposed to Christopher Walken. Yeah, it was an early Christopher Walken
fuck! I might
role.
have seen parts of it. I think I know what you're talking about.
But it's set in the Midwest in like pioneer times, and he's got these kids, and he puts out an ad for, yo, my wife's dead, I need a wife. Cause that's what you did back then. You live a million miles from everybody. You don't have time to go to town and court someone. You just gotta hope. So yeah, the titular Sarah Plain and Tall shows up and she's like, yeah, I hope we fall in love so that I can marry you and raise your kids, because that's what a household is. A wife and mother fulfills an economic role in this household that you need filled, and I need something to do with my life. It's not like I can go to medical school.
Yeah, and that's a very like utilitarian thing, which I could see. It's kind of archaic and like traditional, which I think is a bit more common in Japan, having that very utilitarian view of the nuclear family we have over here. Still very much like they see as serving a function. I could see that working in that context. Like, okay, we need a new dad role. Here we go.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I could see that, but I don't think it happens that much. I think it's just shitty writing, and they're like, this is really dumb.
Yeah, no, it's really dumb, and they make pretty good fun of it. Like the scenarios they go through get progressively. The freaking sharks! Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a cute visual gag.
Yeah, like I for Pop Team Epic being as quick, I almost like I'm at that point where I'm like, okay, cool. You're making some cuts. Go deeper. Go harsher. Go more venomous with some of this, because I like the fact that sometimes it's willing to just say like,
right?
Yeah.
When it's angry, that's when I love it.
Yeah.
When it's just like, fuck that.
Yeah, it's weird, because I'm actually one of those people who's like, you know what? I don't really want more negativity in my media. I get that from my daily life. But in something like Pop Team Epic, which is all
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, about taking the piss out of this stuff. Yeah. No, go hard. So, like, if anything, I just didn't feel like it went hard enough.
Yeah, and I still think this episode though has so many, aside from the main sketch, the thing with Mickey Mouse.
The fucking
slayed me, dude.
Hey, stop
fucking stop it, dude. You can't say that, man.
Yeah. and the thing is like, I don't think Mickey laughs like that. And again, did you watch the male version?
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's the one I skipped to the end and I watched that one.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, male
So
version
good.
was way better, especially with the the extending head. We're just gonna put the name of the producer right here.
Yeah, I don't know what we're
executive
gonna put here. Put his producer's name.
Yeah,
Right there.
like I'm pretty sure 90% of it was improv.
Yeah, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, it was.
Had a lot of choice bits. I don't know.
Speaking of the order you watch things, total aside, but when I watched Killing Bites, I think because I have my Crunchyroll account logged in on the Roku box here at the office, so I have to like make sure if somebody else was watching something over there, like, okay, am I jumping in at the right point? When I pulled up Killing Bites, somebody else had been watching something, and no, that's fine. Like, that's what it's there for. You can use it. It's no big deal. But it started like towards the end of the episode. And so I'm watching it, and it starts with, and we haven't talked about this at all, at the end of every episode, there's this weird little sketch about the honey-guide bird that apparently has this symbiotic relationship with honey badgers and personifies her as this like meek glasses girl who's apparently Hitomi Badger's friend. And I'm like, oh shit, this is at the start of the episode. Oh shit, wait, was that the ending theme? Are they doing the episode in reverse this time? What a weird... Oh, no, turns out I just... Never mind.
But that what you just said could happen in the next episode of Pop Team Epic. And that's what gets me excited, is it is willing to go absolutely balls to the walls with the structure and have fun with it.
Well, we're going to do one more clack, and then we'll wrap things up.
And that's everything we had to talk about. Bye. That was worth a clack.
Oh, but
Nope, bye.
no.
Say your thing.
I just really liked the female performances in this episode. They were like actually really good, and it was kind of amazing that the male performances were even better.
Bye.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
all right.
We just said bye.
Okay, here's the thing. So I'm gonna do the Sakura bit. Put that. I don't know. I have to do my Sakura bit.
Do your Sakura bit. It
All
goes
right.
here. This is where it
Well,
goes.
I guess this is where it's going. Hey guys, so this is Kaiser's clear card.
So you know how this has become an afterthought?
Yeah, okay. So, hi there, kids. Welcome to Kaiser's Card Captor Clear Card Corner. I'm Kaiser, and I'm
Confetti,
bored with
party
the
poppers.
show. I am so bored. I'm sorry. So I really loved Card Captor Sakura when the series came out originally, and I need to go back and I need to rewatch the first couple of episodes because there's some part of me that is legitimately questioning whether or not it is me that has changed or if it is the show that has changed, or perhaps that the show has not changed enough. Because the show is saccharine, it is lackadaisical, and it is also repetitive. I was not expecting the same joke about Tomoyo not being able to get Sakura on camera to be this consistent nor this repetitive. I was not expecting Toya's jokes about Sakura being a monster to get progressively lazier and less interesting. I was not expecting to have a picnic be the centerpiece of the episode and the only actual interesting part about the episode last for 2 minutes. I don't like this. It's just a bunch of the same jokes being made by the same characters as they were last episode with the slightest bit of action in between. It's not all that engaging, and the characters themselves are not engaging enough for their character moments to work. Yeah, I don't blame him. Frankly, I like these characters. I like Sakura. I like her classmates. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. I feel like if I watched all of Cardcaptor Sakura and then I jumped right into this, I might be getting something out of it. But returning back to it and just getting these moments of, so one of the big pulls of the show is, hey, Sakura and Sharon are a thing now. And what are they gonna do with that? We're several episodes in, and the most that has happened is she shared her lunch, or she made a lunch for him. And the big conflict was he'd already eaten lunch. I'm serious. And that's the most that's happened with their relationship so far. That means anything. He's never around for the action anymore, which was one of the cool parts. He was actually a supporting role to her. He was there to help her or be a rival to her.
So we were talking about this some in the car, and yeah, we were kind of saying, yeah, that's what dating is when you're in middle school, though. I don't know, I guess we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. We hold hands sometimes. We eat lunch together. I have this idea that there's more to it, but I don't know what that is yet. It sounds like to satisfy you, what you're wanting out of this, they really would have needed a time skip. Hey, let's see what these characters are up to 5 years later. They're getting out of high school. They're getting into college. But it sounds like that's not what this show is.
No. Them putting them in a relationship has done nothing more than establish them as a couple. But at that point, they want this cuteness between them, these sweet little scenes to carry the show, and they don't, frankly. And the art style of the show, moving to digital coloring, they're doing these beautiful shots, but they're also sterile in a way. Not to mention the slight changes in character design. They were ever so slight, but the eyes, everyone kind of has this same face now. All the characters just kind of blend together, and it's boring. I'm sorry. I know a lot of Cardcaptor Sakura fans out there are probably still getting a lot out of this. It still has a lot of that old magic, but it's just not being utilized. So at the end of the day, as much as I hate to do this, because I was really excited, you don't understand. Cardcaptor Sakura is my favorite magical girl show. And funny enough, my second favorite being Madoka.
It was the only reason that I foolishly wanted to make an exception to our no sequels rule, because I saw how excited Scott was.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to let this series play out a bunch and then come back and binge a bunch of episodes. Yeah, I'm sorry, Cardcaptor Sakura, Card Saga, but man, you needed to do more. You had to start bigger. You had to do something different, and by different I mean cool different, and not just slower and more saccharine.
I'm sorry, it's but.
Yeah. But the one thing I can say about it is that it's not bad. But it's.
But it didn't do enough different to warrant its existence, it sounds like.
Yeah, it sounds like if you want more of that nostalgia that you got, the whole thing's on Crunchyroll, that whole original run of Cardcaptor Sakura, maybe you're better off with just some of that.
You are. If you have not seen the original Cardcaptor Sakura and are in the mood for a cute, lighthearted, but creative romp down magical girl lane, you could do far worse than the original Cardcaptor Sakura, or maybe Princess Tutu. I heard that's also really good. So,
did you ever watch Shugo-chara? Completely unrelated.
Oh no. Yeah, I've heard good things. Good things.
Now let's say that all sounds intriguing to me, but I am a boy and don't want to identify with girl stuff. Is there a way that we could take the Sakura out of Cardcaptor Sakura and just make it about card captors? Would that do anything for me, or?
I don't know. Do you like really bad surfer Canadian accents?
Oh, yeah, can't get enough of them.
Okay, fantastic, because I have the dub for you.
All right.
Yeah. But, sorry, Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card fans. If you are really into the show, I am not. I don't begrudge you for being into it. I hope you're finding something there that I'm not. And I'll probably return to it later, so...
Well, I think at this point, this episode does have as many endings as Return of the King, so I think we're good to...
Oh, yeah. Is this are we going to the
Grey Havens?
Yeah, Grey Havens? Let's go.
Let's sail off into the sunset. Bye, everybody. Rosie, I'm home.